study the different things. And the Bible says, study to show thyself approved. A workman needed not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. So that is straight up study, study, study. Figure out what it is that you want to know and study, study, study. Just go hard, study. And the saying, a workman need not be ashamed, rightly the word of the truth. You know, you have to study and understand that it's okay. You don't know what you don't know. So don't use your ignorance on a certain subject or topic as something that will hinder you in moving forward and doing the things that you need to do. So if you don't know something, don't be ashamed of it. Don't feel some type of way about it. You have the opportunity, just like everyone else in this world has the opportunity, to study and learn about it. So we can't use that excuse that I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. You cannot use that excuse in the world of entrepreneurship. You have to find out. You have to learn how to do those things. So I just cannot stand when people say, okay, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that. Yeah? Alright, so what you going to do about it? I mean, you can say it, but if you're not going to move forward and figure it out, then you're not really going to be successful. I mean, you also have those who, at a certain extent, will outsource the heck out of everything, which makes sense. You know, I am an advocate for outsourcing. You know, I don't have the time to do everything that I want to do, so therefore I will find someone else who specializes in it, who's an expert in that area that I need done, and I will allow them to do it. But at the same time, just because I outsource certain things, I still take a concerted effort to learn as much about it as possible, so that I can see what they're doing and understand what they're doing. And if for any reason things were to happen, I will be able to do something to help out my own cause. But, you know, I think you need to have some level of knowledge on every aspect of your business. Because just say, for example, things are running smoothly. You get to that place where you're running a 6-7 figure business, and somebody that you are outsourcing a certain aspect of your business to, something happens to them and they just can't do it. So in the meantime of you trying to find someone else to take the job and to handle that aspect, you're lacking. Your business is dying in that area. And if you don't know how to fix it, you don't know how to handle those areas, then you're in trouble. So you need to have some kind of knowledge on that area. So that's where it's important that you really, really, really study each and every aspect of your business and everything that you want to do. So if it's social media, if it's the internet, if it's building a website, if it's marketing, whatever it is, you need to learn some aspect of it to have that general knowledge. You need to have the basic general knowledge on every aspect of your business. And, you know, it's okay. It's okay to not know how to do certain things, guys. It's okay to not understand every aspect in the beginning, but definitely you need to really focus on studying every aspect of your business so you have that general basic knowledge of how to run your own business. Because if you're not able to run your own business, it's going to be hard for you to teach others how to run different aspects when you get to that point of growth. And if you outsource, you know, you definitely want to know the different things that they're doing so you can actually see. I mean, you have some shiesty people out there, so you definitely want to make sure that they are doing things the right way. So if you have that general basic knowledge of what needs to be done, then you can oversee that to a certain extent and make sure they're doing the right things. Dani?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think you brought up some very, very poignant points. I think that you really have to, studying is the beginning of everything. So, and I think you even touched on that, even as far as finding a mentor, is I learned this a long time ago. You need a mentor that represents where you came from. You need a mentor to represent where you are now. And you need a mentor that represents where you're going, where you want to be.
Yep.
think that it's great if you can find, one person that represents all of that, but at the same time, you need more than one mentor. That's just, and I don't care if you are an entrepreneur or if you are a college student or a high school student. You need a mentor for each stage of your life. And you should have an idea of what it is that you want to do. And that way, when you're talking to people, you know it's, okay, so maybe I'm not headed in the direction that I need to be headed in. And you really won't know that until you begin to surround yourself with people who not only know what they're doing and how to get to where they want to be and have some ambition and direction in their own lives, but also, someone that can be real and honest and open with you about what you need to do to get to where you think you want to be. And I firmly believe that as you start talking to people who have some sense and can really give you some guidance, you might find out that you could be heading in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't know that until you start to talk to some people and you really surround yourself with people who are, like-minded. As far as, they might not be like-minded necessarily in the way that you think, but as far as having some ambition and having a desire to own their own business or to succeed is important.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And another thing. So, Dani, can you hear me fine?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
All right, cool. So another thing that is very important when you want to be successful as an entrepreneur is you have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, or else it's just a waste of time. If you're not willing to really put yourself out there and go all in on something, then you're going to make it very difficult for you to be successful. If you're afraid to be, people are afraid of being successful. I figured it out a long time ago. I used to think that people were just really, really afraid of failing. But I've learned over the years that people are probably more afraid of success than they are of failure. People are afraid that, oh my gosh, what if this actually works? It's a weird thing when you really think about it, but people are afraid to really go out there and put themselves on the line. And I don't know if it's just the fear of, the public, what people will say about them, what people will think about them. I know firsthand, when you go out there and you put yourself out there on the line and you start your own business, people that surround you who don't have the same mentality, who don't have the same mindset, who don't believe the same things that you believe, they're probably afraid, and their fear, they push it at you. They push their fear at you so hard, and a lot of the time, they don't mean to. It's just a natural thing because people fear what they don't know. So the unknown of starting your own business and creating your own legacy is a scary thing for many people. So you have to be willing to go out and take major risks. So, starting a business, 9 out of 10 times you need some form of monetary money, some kind of money to start it. So you need to take the risk on your own money that you're putting up to start your business. A lot of times it may be the time that you have to invest. It's different things that would be considered as risk, but taking risks, you have to be willing to take risks to be successful. You can't, they always say you have to spend money to make money, which is pretty true, unless you are one of those crazy artistic people, which I know plenty of them, who can find junk all over the street, all throughout the city, and make beautiful art out of it. then in that case, you don't have to spend money to make money unless you consider spending money to gas that you have to use to drive around to these different places. So, understanding every aspect of what you do and creating numbers for everything. Everything costs money. So figuring that all out and taking risks is very important. Dani?
Yes. I mean, again, you're hitting on some just really fantastic points. I think that taking risks, we risk a lot of stuff. And some of us are foolish, and so we risk our lives. We risk our reputations. We risk our careers if we're in a job, and it can be something as simple as posting something absolutely ridiculous on social media. It could be that simple, but we're taking a risk. And somehow, in some way, when it comes to our dreams, a lot of times we're scared. We're too scared to take that risk because, what if, people aren't going to understand this, and they're not going to understand that, and what if this happens, and what if that happens? Okay, what if? What if? But you don't know the what if until you actually try. But unfortunately, we get caught up and this is just life in general. We get caught up in what other people are going to think about what we're doing. And it stops us from doing what we should be doing. It stops us from living out our calling. It stops us from pursuing our dreams with fervor and zeal because we're so caught up in this idea that, oh my gosh, it's like the what if it actually works scares us. But we're not scared of, it's almost like we expect things to go wrong.
Yep.
So failure, we expect to fail, but we don't expect to succeed. But it's like, it's like that one quote, what if you fall? Or I can't remember the exact quote. But it's like, but what if you fly? What if what you do, what you do, what if what you set out to accomplish actually works? Imagine that. Imagine what you've been dreaming of actually working for your good. And I think that once we begin to operate in that thought process, that yes, I could fail, but that failure just means that I'm finding another way not to do something. It only takes one time to get it right.
Yep. Exactly. And, a part of that process of growing and learning, and as you talked about failing, it's a level of persistence that you have to have because, people quit once they fail one little bit. I grew up playing basketball, and, when I was younger, it was a lot of kids that I played with, and I was faster than a lot of kids at the time, so they would use that as an excuse to just stop playing. They would just quit because the other little kid was running faster than them. Or, in an instance where they were shooting, we were playing horse or something like that. Yeah, I hope everybody know what horse is or pig. You shoot the ball and, you make it the person after you. If they miss, they get a letter. So, yeah, just hood basketball. So, yeah, play horse. And, if people can't make the shot, they quit. I played so many games where people didn't get horse. Once they got the hoe, they just stopped playing. Like, yo, you only got 2 letters. You still have a chance. You can't quit. And being persistent is a big key to being successful in business. But the main thing that I attribute with persistence is a strong desire to continuously learn more about everything regarding your business, everything about yourself. So personal development and persistence goes hand in hand with me because The more you develop yourself, the more you learn about what it is that you're doing, the more you see different people who are successful, the more you study people who have actually failed as well, the more that you can put into what you're doing to be successful. So it helps you be persistent when you personally